Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here, hope you're all doing well, and in today's video we have a very exciting news update here for the Book of Boba Fett with some potential leaks and rumors going around for the overall show, so without further ado, let's jump right on into it. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look here at each and every titled name for each episode of the Book of Boba Fett for Season 1 of the overall show. Now, to clear up one thing here, like I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is simply just a rumor and leak for as of right now. It's circulating around here from multiple sources. Our source for today's video, of course, being the Direct. But of course, seeing that this is simply just a rumor and slash leak, of course, and not actually confirmed by Disney, Lucasfilm, or Star Wars, simply take it with a grain of salt for the time being. However, the overall names here for each episode are very, very exciting. So we're going to take a deep dive right on into them right now, and let's get started here with episode 1. Something else we found kind of interesting here with each of these titles for each episode is that they had chapters attached to them, which are a continuation off of what we saw last in The Mandalorian Season 2, and there was also these chapter numbers as well that followed all the way from the beginning with The Mandalorian Season 1 that followed into The Mandalorian Season 2. Now we're going to see those numbers continue to grow into the Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian Season 3, and maybe even promptly see that in Rangers of the New Republic when that eventually gets planned out and comes out, and furthermore maybe even for the Ahsoka show, and really whatever other Star Wars spin-off kind of series and shows they want to do that take place within the Mandalorian universe, such as in a Luke Skywalker kind of spin-off there. I think a lot of fans would really love. So with that, the leaked rumored names here supposedly for the Book of Boba Fett Season 1, starting out with Episode 1, Chapter 17, which I had mentioned is a continuation off of The Mandalorian Season 2, titled The Champion, supposedly. Absolutely no clue, an idea what that would exactly be. Something has to do with the scene here that we saw at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2, where we see Boba and Fennec Shand go back to Tatooine to take over Jabba the Hutt's palace completely and become the overall, I guess, leader and owner of Jabba's palace. I think is something we're definitely going to be seeing here, kind of reimagined and relived here in the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe dive a little more in depth, and furthermore give us a look at what actually is happening after that whole scene kind of takes place. I think is something that would be really cool for one thing to see, and something that I think we're definitely going to see here for the Book of Boba Fett. That's going to kind of lead off to some other speculations and theories I'm going to get into in just a moment, a little later on in the video. But jumping into Episode 2, Chapter 18 of what the Book of Boba Fett, that title there is going to be The Assassin, which is supposedly leaked and rumored is going to be The Assassin. So I'm going to go off on a limb here and say that option A is Boba goes off to hunt down somebody, or somebody's going off to hunt Boba Fett. I think either way, either option is kind of equally likely. Boba's a bounty hunter, and he just took over Jabba the Hutt's palace, so there definitely is going to be somebody that's going after him that we're going to be seeing here in the series. Chapter 19, Episode 3 is called The Syndicate, which of course is only a leaked speculation and rumor here that is going around as of right now. Now, the overall meaning of a syndicate is a group of individuals that are grouped together essentially into a corporation and a company. Now, whether or not that's going to be different characters that we already know, a part of the Mandalorian universe, or really the overall Star Wars universe as a whole, completely unknown, completely up in the air, could be really anything, honestly, at that. Either which way, I think it's definitely going to consist of a few Mandalorians, and I think we're going to see kind of the guild here come back, the Mandalorian guild there come back into the universe of the Mandalorian, as the last time we saw them was in Season 1 of the Mandalorian, as they were all supposedly actually wiped out and killed by what was left of the Empire. So essentially, I think the Syndicate is going to be a gang of members here that we see Boba kind of travel throughout, and with kind of like a team here throughout the remaining episodes pretty much of the Book of Boba Fett. Episode 4, Chapter 20 of the Book of Boba Fett is supposedly going to be called The Battleground. Now, it was rumored previously, now a couple months ago now at this point, that there was going to be some type of giant warfare and battle that breaks out and goes on in the Book of Boba Fett between different, people here, of course, in the show. Now, whether or not it's going to be Mandalorians or the Empire, or it's going to take place on Mandalore is completely unknown, completely up in the air, could really be anything. But seeing that kind of rumor kind of continue on and kind of maybe actually be true here is pretty exciting to see kind of go on, and brings up a lot of hype. Now, speaking of hype, this next one, Chapter 21, Episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett, is major hype, and has a lot of Star Wars fans talking, at least for the ones that have actually heard and seen this list here. It's titled The Homeworld. The Homeworld, it's obvious. Kamino is making a comeback here in the Book of Boba Fett. Now, of course, it was also confirmed by Tamora Morrison himself that there are going to be flashbacks here for the overall show, so we're definitely going to get some type of flashback here taking place on Kamino, as we did see in the Bad Batch, the season finale there, kind of the Kamino cities being destroyed there by the Empire. So unless in the modern time here of The Mandalorian that we have the Kamino cities rebuilt here, it's completely unlikely that it's taking place in the present time, unless of course they travel back there to see the remains of these fallen cities and cloning facilities. It's definitely going to be flashbacks in this episode right here, which is definitely really exciting, because we're more than likely going to get some more looks here at Jango Fett, his father, and honoring the overall legacy that Boba wants to do is honor the legacy of his father, Jango Fett, or his donor, whatever you want to say, which is definitely something very exciting. Furthermore, seeing that Tamora Morrison is pulling both roles here of Jango Fett and Boba Fett, it definitely makes sense to see that, and I think it would be really awesome. After Chapter 21, we have Chapter 22 that there is titled The Warlord. Absolutely no clue what that could possibly be. I'm going to go off on a limb here and say it could be somebody, some big bad, essentially. That would either of course, be one of the Hutts here, whether or not we see Jabba the Hutt's son come back here, as we did see him in the Clone Wars show, or the Clone Wars movie rather. I think would be kind of funny, honestly, to see that in live action for one thing, and furthermore see them come back for the Book of Boba Fett. I think would definitely be kind of funny. Other Star Wars fans have theorized the idea of Thrawn making his grand entry in the live action universe and the Mandalorian universe after having the name drop in the Ahsoka Tano series. We definitely could see him as well, I think, or some type of other big bad villain taking place here in the Mandalorian universe other than Thrawn, Moff Gideon. I think Boba Fett very well could have his big bad villains, which leads me to our next one for Chapter 23, that there being the Showdown. Oh, that one makes a lot of sense and brings and sparks up a lot of theories and speculations for what that very well could be, that there could essentially be some type of other flashback, or even a redo almost type, so to speak, a remastered or a rematch, actually, out of all things, where we see Boba Fett stand down versus Cad Bane, as we see Cad Bane make his live action appearance here for the Book of Boba Fett. He has been rumored by multiple sources throughout the last couple of months here to finally make that live action appearance here for the Book of Boba Fett, and especially seeing the whole history here behind these two different characters, as we did see in the Clone Wars series, it really makes a lot of sense, and I think it would be really cool to finally get our look here at Cad Bane in the live action universe of Star Wars. And furthermore, it does kind of feel like they have kind of a mixed relationship, so it would kind of settle their things here with that relationship between Cad Bane and Boba Fett, as I almost feel like Cad Bane was almost like a little bit of a mentor towards Boba Fett in the Clone Wars show, although even then the relationship was kind of confusing and was kind of up in the air from there. Now, this final one, Chapter 24 of what the Book of Boba Fett is going to be, that there being the last and final episode out of 8 possible episodes. I can't completely remember if I had mentioned this at the beginning of the video, where it was rumored essentially a couple months ago that the season 1 here for the Book of Boba Fett is only going to be 7 episodes. It's now apparently going to be 8 episodes according to this list, which is something I completely missed out, and I do apologize for that. However, the episode name and title would be The Hunter, and that there speculates a lot of different, theories out there in the Star Wars community as a whole as of what it could possibly be. Now, of course, it could be the essential choice, seeing that Boba Fett is a bounty hunter and bounty hunters hunt people. He could be the hunter in this episode and essentially be what a bounty hunter is, essentially hunting down something or somebody. Makes a lot of sense. However, the theory that I really like, a lot of people have brought up, that there being Hunter from the Bad Batch show, the mutated clone commander and captain, as we did see in the Bad Batch show and the final season of the Clone Wars. I think a lot of Star Wars fans would absolutely love to see, Tamora Morrison, who does portray Jango Fett, which is essentially the template here for the Grand Republic army of the Clone Army here, betraying all these different characters that are based off of that single character, which, if that doesn't make complete sense, essentially it would be Tamora Morrison playing characters that were cloned from his original character, Jango Fett, that we saw back in the prequels. So from there, we could very well see Boba Fett, as we did see in The Mandalorian, of course, and in his own show, of course. We're seeing Tamora Morrison play that clone version of Jango Fett, and furthermore see him play different clone versions, essentially, of himself, Jango Fett, as we did see in the prequel trilogy, I think would be really, really cool. So to name a few, of course, the Hunter, for one, and The Hunter, Chapter 24, makes a lot of sense, and I think would be really, really cool. And for another one I think a lot of Star Wars fans would absolutely love, and I think would be a really good opportunity to introduce, if they're going to do it, of course, here for the Mandalorian universe, would be Captain Rex, out of all things, actually, as we definitely, hopefully, will see him in the Ahsoka Tano series. However, that there is completely for a different time in a different video, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and stick around for that video when it does come out, guys. I want to know all of your thoughts and opinions on all these different episode names and chapters, and of course, keep in mind that these are simply just leaks and rumors as of right now, not confirmed by anybody from Disney, Lucasfilm, or Star Wars, so take them with a grain of salt for the time being. Nonetheless, they're very fun to speculate on and get a lot of hype here going for the overall show. So let me know all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys all think. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and of course, may the Force be with you always. Peace out.